thank you, don't appreciate them, don't appreciate anything they do. I'm just a maid over here. What do I do? What are you marrying me for? Just to do the laundry and do the washing up? You don't appreciate me. Now, it could be in our heads we do appreciate them, but we don't express it. And that is something we need to learn now on a small level, to our roommates, to our friends, to our chavrusas, to our parents, whatever it may be. Learn to express hakaras hatov, learn to have gratitude, look for it in your life. And I'll just end with one last thing. There was a principal in a school that had a teacher who just didn't make the bar, it wasn't working. So she had to do something she wasn't very comfortable doing, and she fired the teacher. Teacher wasn't very happy about it, but what can you do? Years and years later, this teacher called up the principal, and the principal answered, and it was the teacher. Oh wow, I haven't heard from you for years. Everything okay? What's going on? So the teacher said, listen, I want to tell you something. When you fired me, that was the worst thing possible. It was my first teaching job. I was so excited I can finally be a teacher. It was my lifelong mission and aspiration, and you completely shut down the whole thing, and that was it. I was crushed. I was completely crushed. So much so that I got depressed. We had to move out of town. My husband lost his job. We had to go somewhere else. We didn't have a house, a mortgage. And she started to list all of the things. And the principal was like, getting more and more uncomfortable as the conversation was going. Like, well, where are you going with this? So the teacher started continuing. And she said, well, I'll be honest with you. I started a teacher's training course. I really want to learn how to be the greatest teacher in the world. So I started a course on how to become the best teacher. And one of the assignments that we have to do is to write about the person that we hate the most. Therefore, I'm calling you. Right? That's what she said. The principal was like, whoa, okay. So then she continued, this teacher, and she said to the principal, but the next assignment we were given was to find 10 things that were actually good about that person. And I started to think, at the beginning I was like, no, that person is horrible, they fired me, I can't believe it, my job, I had to move location, houses, kids, everything was terrible. Until I realized, hold on a minute, I do remember though, when I first came into the area, so you brought in a cake on Erev Shabbos, which I thought was so nice. And then I remember when I first came into the school, you welcomed me in, and you said, welcome to this new teacher. And she started to list, and she saw more and more things that ultimately she realized that the teacher did good for her. And when she saw that, she said, I want to thank you very, very much. What you did for me was ultimately the best thing for me, because it caused me to retrospect, to understand where my place is in life, and obviously go to this course and become who I'm, Mitzvah Shem, going to become. But that's the idea. The idea is sometimes we have to look deep. Sometimes we have to look beneath the surface and see the wonderful things that we have in our lives. When you're married and you have a wife that loves you, that cares about you, that does so much for you, sometimes you have to remember these things and you have to concentrate on them and think about them all the time, so that you can not only think them, but you can also express them. Mitzvah Shem, next week, brand new topic.